So we're almost a month into 2024, and there's already been the strangest and the weirdest beef of all time. John Dow is beefing with Vivek. Over what, you ask? Being an Indian and wanting to say that he's American. Yeah, it's the stupidest crap ever. John Dow used to have good opinions. I saw his abortion video. It was funny. He was trolling feminists. It was pretty funny and a cool video with both good political aspects and funny, humorous aspects. But he's gone on a steep decline since he's appeared on podcasts talking about how women should endure abuse, along with the Endure guy that I covered previously months and months and months ago. But now this opinion is not worse, but semi worse than the last one. So let's get into it. So it all rages from when Vivek tweets, "I'm an American nationalist. This country isn't just an economic zone, but it's not defined by ethnicity either. We're not bound by the blood in our veins. We're bound by the ideals that our founders spilled blood to preserve. They wrote them out, and we fought a revolution, a civil war, and 2 world wars to save them. I refuse to let the woke left or their intellectual cousins on the right browbeat us into thinking otherwise. I'm rooted deep into this country, and I'll stand my ground to the end if I have to. This is a good debate to have in the GOP. Let's smoke it out." I mean, that's pretty agreeable. That is what the founding fathers basically said. They said that we are not bound by race or religion or anything. We are there for the people, to be of the people. And this is exactly what the founding fathers have said. But for some reason, John Dow got a different message. He said, "Really? In the Constitution, what then is meant by the writing at the top of the document stating its purpose is intended for and dedicated to ourselves and our prosperity? Are you restarted? Are you acoustic? Because that's not what that means. Okay, us as in being immigrant, us as in being different people, melting pot of different ethnicities during the time which they had integrated with the Native Americans. During the time they had a bunch of different immigrants among Germany and other places that wanted the same freedom as them, when they declared independence from Britain and other British people, during when there was a very mass immigration, a very big melting pot. They were referring to the people who want to be free. They were referring to the people who want to contribute to the nation, not just an ethnicity of a bunch of English people that came onto the land. It was all ethnicities. So what are you even referring to? You're trying to use it as your point, but it doesn't even state your point. And then he says, "You speak of the revolution. What did John Dickinson, a delegate to the Constitution Convention known colloquially as the penman of the revolution for how effective his writings in favor of independence were, mean when he wrote in his fabulous letters, 'Dog is speaking eloquently,' highlighted his optimism for the future of the new nation on account of its historically unique unity?" What? Did you just try to use somebody saying that there is a unique unity among different types of people, and the dude who did actually say that he wants freedom for all? You are saying that this is basically meaning Indians can't be Americans? What take is this? You're trying to use this against him, but it actually goes for him. You have no argument. Your argument goes against yourself. The guy that you're trying to quote would disagree with you. Okay, and then he quotes, "Where was there ever a confederacy of republics united as these states are, in which the people were so drawn together by religion, blood, language, manners, and customs?" So he thinks he did something here, but he didn't. They are drawn together because they have similar beliefs, and they have blood, quote, because they were integrating into each other's families, not just because they're all Englishmen. Not all of them were Englishmen. Some of them were German Americans. Some of them were different types of American, of people who saw the Mayflower and wanted to come help, and then they were pissed off by the taxes. Oh, also, let's not forget that not all of them were English, also because French people. French has been a part of America for a while, and they dropped out way later when their land was bought, and they dropped out way later when they were kicked out. But they were much a part of it. So there was a bunch of Germans and Swedish people. There were a lot of Scandinavian Americans. There were a lot of German Americans. There were a lot of French Americans and English Americans, and a bunch of people of other ethnicities that wanted to have the same amount of freedom and were pissed off by the taxes they were getting taxed on. So they declared independence and wanted to be free as a nation and have religious freedom. Yeah. They were not talking about blood as an ethnicity. They were talking about the blood that runs through them, basically saying that we are of this land because we are born on this land, or we are of this land because we came to this land and we're contributing to this country by giving back to the community. Our blood has been set on this land. That means something different than just ethnicity. Are you kidding me? Do you even know American history? You're gonna, you're gonna claim it. Yeah. You're gonna try to cite it for your own cause and for your weird racist thing against Vivek when it has literally nothing to do with it. Yeah, you did not do it here. But let's move on to the next philosopher he's gonna quote. Wrongfully, of course. What did John Jay mean in the Federalist Papers when he regarded as such a blessing this one connected tree to one people descended from the same ancestors, speaking the same language, professing the same religion, attached to the same principles of government, very similarly in their manners and customs? Are you kidding me? Okay, let's go through this. Yes, they are connected because they're united in their differences, which was one of the biggest states of America, and which was one of the biggest things of the independence and the other various ethnicities that were there. Descended from the same ancestors. Yeah, they're descended from immigrant ancestors from all sides. The French side, the German side, the Swedish side, the English side. So it does not mean one specific ethnicity. What are you on? The same principles of government. Yeah, they have the same principle that they want to be free. That has nothing to do with ethnicity. Very similar in their manners and customs. Yeah, they're similar. They have similar culture because they came here and they became a culture together. That is nothing. You proved our points here. Ideals of the founders are most accurately articulated and condensed in our Constitution. Then why do the most influential men in its authoring all disagree completely with your interpretation of what they actually sacrificed for? Huh? They disagree with you. They were for unity, and you cited them in an attempt to try to disqualify, in an attempt to try to hurt Vivek and say he's a bad person because you heard from the righties that because they hate him because he's Indians or whatever. Dog, everything you've quoted has gone against you, and you cited no valid sources that actually agree with you. And none of these people of all of the continents of America held the same ethnicity. A lot of them were different ethnicities, as I've stated. But you trying to use that to say that you have to be white, oh, because you have this weird post-colonialism or whatever idea of race, because people in America think that white is one race when really white is different types of races all put into one. Just because they have the same skin color doesn't mean they're all the same race. Different people are people, different people are different people. Sorry. So none of you think you did cited, and everything that you have cited have only gone against you and gone on Vivek's side. So what you're doing is just retarded. It's stupid. What are you talking about? And he said, you're smart enough to know that what you're actually arguing was being literally laughed at until just a few decades ago. So what was the motives behind distorting our history and sovereignty? You distorted it. You distorted it to try to put your claims and try to attack Vivek as a person instead of citing any arguments. And all of these, you would have been laughed at, okay? Nowhere but Twitter would this not be laughed at. You literally cited people who believed in freedom upon everyone, freedom upon different ethnicities. You really think they was just for English people? No, there were French and other ethnicities in these other regions of America that were also fighting against the British. What? Huh? Dude is acoustic. What are you talking about? You are the one that would have been laughed at, and everything you've stated here has been false. So that's pretty much it. I just want to cover how stupid this guy has gone. He went from great to, this is a downfall of history. The only downfall that's greater than this one is probably iDubbbz and maybe Ethan H3H3, but this guy is getting very similar to having very far views that make no coherent sense. And when you challenge him on it, then he goes ballistic. And when you say anything against it, then he goes ballistic. It's so stupid to say any of these things because they don't even correlate. So yeah, that's pretty much it.